Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Well, clap your hands then. Your hands then. Come on. Clap your hands then. Come on. Can y'all hear that?
Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Having fun with it, baby. Having fun with it. Where am I going to put this big thing now? Just having fun with it. I go outside and do this and just play with beats. And that, of course, is Bootsy. Bootsy and a lot of the funk band added to Bootsy. So that's enough for the vibration, putting the vibration through. That does the same thing as when I do the directional sounds. It's the same thing. Pushing these energies and making energies fresh for what I'm trying to create right now. So I am 8 Wind is timeless. I'm also Starface, Time Lord, different kind of names. But it all does start with a gentle sadness. I am the holder of the continuous ball game created by the Hero Twins. And maybe I should say perfected by them, because it did exist when their dad played it. So it existed before they did. But I think in the popular sense, going after it, but playing together. Not the Cain and Abel hate our brother. No, you do everything. You go through nature. You manipulate nature as you go through with your brother. Told the story again. You trick your half brothers and climbing into trees that is too high for even a god to climb down. I am also the Galactic Daddy-O, sitting on my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. Funk, get ready to roll. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show. And feeling funky tonight. Listening to the good brothers tonight. And I should write the names down, but Keep It Techie, Siova, Tech for You, I believe that is, giving their opinions about if you really want this kind of thing, or even how you view the information, I guess is a good way to look at it, is how you absorb it. And I do think there's a responsibility on both sides to help you absorb it as best as we can. And it doesn't have to be terribly expensive. That's not the point of it. The point is the best that you can do for your intentions and how people perceive you and move with you. Commercial first. Acid Cigars. I hope they don't ban these. And Alaskan Ale. Nothing more American. And not very strong, but very flavorful. And acceptable. 5.3, it's acceptable. But pop them. Nothing more summer, like late spring, summer, than a beer in a can. Or now they put the spritz in the cans. and smoke them if you want them. I am smoked out. But with it. So where should I start first? Everybody, Brother James, what's happening? Domino's Pizza and chicken for me tonight. Oh, you sound like my son. He'll kill that too. Hey, Derek, yes, the Hero Twins. Hey, Tiger Strong, what is happening? Shit, it's a game. The Division 2 championship is tomorrow. So check out Division 2 championship. It's tomorrow. They had the semifinals. I showed that hit where the dude got knocked out. That's the Division 2. So make sure you watch that. Support them. Watch them. You love football, watch them. And that's the level I played at, was Division 2. Well, it's called really 1A, I think. It's just Division A or something like that. But it used to be Division 2. And then, of course, there's Division 3. There was even some teams recently moved up from Division 2, moving up into Division 1. So, and it ain't all about, the number of students. It's the program and the money in the program. Because Notre Dame, anybody been to South Bend, Notre Dame ain't no big college. Not like going to Michigan State or going to Michigan. Them is some big-ass colleges. Michigan State, East Lansing is a city. Michigan State by itself is a city. And I mean a fairly big city. It's not a little city. It's a fairly big city, but it's a city. Columbus, Ohio State, same way. These is big. The U is the West Bank. Here they call the U is part of the West Bank. It's like on what they call the West Bank of the Mississippi. That's where they build it off of, like the bluffs over there. The Art Center. It's another art center in St. Paul. Kind of did the same kind of energy. But the Art Center in St. Paul, not far from where the Wild play. But they again, all this is ley lines and all that. That's why, the thing with looking at geometry, they don't necessarily have to use that when the ley lines, because that is what they're looking to amplify their powers. So they're really not going to go into the names of where they're at. They're gonna be out there trying to divine with the divining rods or however they're gonna find them ley lines, and then they build from that. So there ain't just one way. You got to like adapt as you move, and you see this kind of thing. And this is what was done, and massively. One thing, America is massively destroying mounds everywhere. I'm reading a book about Peru, and the same thing that we found here. And Poltergeist tries to point at that is, just building over this shit, knowing that shit is there and just building over it, sanding it under and building over it. I mean, that goes back to what was done in Mexico City, tore down the pyramids and then built these Catholic churches that's been there since the 1500s. And who speaks for the ones that's resting? Because this shit's so old in America that, who speaks for that? Like you read about the giant information, the crypts were so old that when they opened them up, when light hit the shit just vanished. The light and the oxygen just made the shit, it was so old. And I don't know about the grave robbing kind of thing. It looks like South America had a lot of grave robbing. The stuff was just so old and people didn't bother it for so long. Where when people got hip to it, they went and hit the stuff up, and the stuff had gold mask and in private collections today. I laughed. The brother shared this thing. I think I said about Al Prophet. It's just funny. Because brother Al Prophet, and I believe Al is from Detroit too. He's from Michigan. But he showed a thing where they robbed this dude. I'll be talking about that. What is it, Ralph Millie watch? You can get one of them. That's the tennis player, one of the tennis players. But it's like $1 million watch. I think they mentioned Nicki Minaj had one $2 million. I mean, these is exclusive timepieces. These is heirlooms. When you buy it, it's an heirloom. Something that's going to keep going. But they apparently a dude was walking around the street with one, and a couple of people jacked him, and didn't even have really anybody to sell it for. Here you got a $500,000 watch, and they was trying to pawn it. And of course, they show the young brothers. You know, you got a scout out there, out at Beverly Hills, a scout walking around, and saying, you know, hey, I think he has that, and they got a brother of a Rolex watch. But you know, there's a very easy way to deter that kind of thing, because if a person comes up on you in a threatening kind of way, you can stand your ground. In most places in America. And you know, sometimes you can just stick a little pistol up somebody's chin and say, what is your intention, young man? Why are you walking up on me like that? I mean, that could stop a lot of conflict. And you could unarm him if he's armed. So it's a lot of different people out there that I guess look at things a little differently. As I said, I'm not bothered by things because I feel like I am the storm. So how can the storm be bothered? Antoine, what's happening? Hey, strong discernment. They can't be asleep. What you think about these magnets in the? Hey, crazy Sarge, where's it at? I sent the stuff off, Crazy Sarge. The thing is around here somewhere to track. I kept it. Thought I put it in this damn basket though. Well, maybe not, but I sent it off to you. So look for it to come in a couple of days. It's just a little small box. I'll say this, tell you why you listening. So I don't remember both of them I got. It had a little damage on one side, but the other side is perfect. But I told my brother the two, I don't know which one was what, but one of them had that ohmic energy in it. So if you work with it, I don't know. My brother never said anything about seeing it. One of them held that. So clear it. I mean, that ain't really bad energy, but clear it if it ain't for you, you know. But it could be. So wanted to put that out there. But I'll tell you, this is the great thing about these obsidian mirrors, and I meant to bring mine out. Even if you don't like want to get into trancing and just, you know, with your eyes open, even if you don't want that, that's okay. Just holding these things. I mean, they like even the skull of obsidian here, you ain't even got to like try to connect with it. If you just really just sit with it and hold it, the energy is almost like when you close your eyes, it's almost like a little small sunburst of energy. You just see, like you'll see this energy, like you can, you know, where you're holding it, and especially if you're blacked out, you know, again, if you're blacked out. But if you're totally blacked out with a blindfold or if it's dark in the room, this will light up, clearly light up with your eyes closed. I mean, you will see the energy. TV tries to show it like infrared or some shit like that, but you would see, you'd close your eyes and you would see that this energy was right here. And it's a very, very protective, pleasant energy in obsidian. It really is. But the mirrors, it's different with this, a little bit different. Again, you can scry on the back of this. The viewing area does small because I think this is only a 4 inch. So the scrying area is fairly small, but learn to work in that little area and it'll be okay. I mean, it kind of a little bit of concentration, but it'll give you a window that will turn on and open up. So it'll do that. It'll definitely do that. So it's on the way. And I'm gonna she's not here yet. PJ, what is happening? Glad to see you, Valerie. Kim and Cam. What's up? Kim and Cam. Yes. Kim and Kim. Key Man Cam. Okay. Yes. You've been here before. Unique Breed, Antonio. Valerie, PJ again, Antoine, what's happening? Derek, China Lion say they landed on Mars. Yeah, they lying. I think all of them lying. I'm riding with the pre-night. Nice, Antonio. LeBron sitting a part of the script. Yeah, it seems like that. Hey, Sebastian. Yeah, it seems like they resting him. You see they keeping him in contention. And again, them lower seeds step into them higher seed spots. That's not a bad thing because it advances them to that spot. I was talking about that last night. But yeah, that's all. It is a thing, and maybe that's a way to put them to go out this year is have him sit. But I think it's all gonna, he's gonna play till his son. He's gonna play with his son, and might even be a player coach. You never know. Yeah, the Richard Valerie, the Richard Millie watches. Yup. One was they jacked a $600,000 watch and tried to sell it for $100,000. Like, it would make more sense to have somebody that would buy it first than just impulsively. They said they went to a pawn shop. What pawn shop is going to give you, especially something like that? You do it so brazen. That's pretty brazen. And then you just try to, you stay in your area. It seemed like maybe they would have went to Vegas. But it could be, the guys that are, the crime and stuff. But I mean, would people be mad? A dude like go up to try to like T Grizzly tried to do a snatch and grab, take hammers in a jewelry store and smash them and take off. And I think in his situation, it was the dude that had a gun up in there. One of the customers had a gun and they smashed, and the customers, I think, pulled the heat on their ass. Pulled the heat on their ass. They want to publicly shame LeBron with the vax, and they ain't allowing it. Did he take it? Does it seem like everybody else is doing it? Up here, you ain't got to wear a mask no more. Nowhere. Up here, nowhere. I mean, the stores still make you, but technically you don't. I mean, the stores, that's the stores. But as far as the government thing, it's over. I was traveling all day today, helping out, spreading this food I pick up today. And I was checking it out earlier. I'm like, oh, okay. Just in a day and some words. Well, it's over. We're not going to do it anymore. So I found that surprising today. Who was the last player coach? Bill Russell? No, I think Lenny Wilkins. I think Lenny Wilkins was probably the last player coach. Dave DeBusschere was player coach of the Pistons, but that was in the 60s. Lenny Wilkes, yeah, when he left the Hawks, because kind of like they pushed Lenny Wilkes out when they brought in Pistol Pete. And that's kind of how it happened. And well, Lenny Wilkes played with the St. Louis Hawks. Yeah, and they moved to Atlanta. Yeah, St. Louis Hawks moved to Atlanta. And so Lenny Wilkes had played with him when they was in St. Louis. And then they moved to Atlanta, and Pistol Pete came in, and they couldn't pay Lenny Wilkes, and they couldn't pay Pistol Pete because he got big dough coming into the league. Oh, shit, ain't none of my lights on. Wow. I'm slipping. Oh. All right. But then Lenny Wilkes, when Seattle became a team, Seattle was a what do they call it? A new team. When Seattle came a new team, I'm pretty sure Lenny Wilkes was the coach, player coach at first. He was still playing. It was towards the end of his career, but he was still playing. So yeah, I think Lenny Wilkes was probably the last one. And, Bill Russell coached in, I think he coached Sacramento in the NBA. I think he coached the ABA a little bit too. Wilt coached, Wilt was going to play with the San Diego Conquistadors of the ABA, and the Lakers blocked him after he retired. Lakers still said they still had his rights. So he coached, but he played pro volleyball. Wilt played pro volleyball. Player coach would be dope. LeBron has been ashamed when his teammates were sleeping with his mom. And look at how the teammate, Valerie, look at how the teammate ended up. Yep. How they offer me. Yeah, I saw the lottery, CJ. That is bananas. Who's going to win the finals? I'm staying with the same teams. I still see they're gonna see. This is what you got to compare to. Like, even though the teams right now, these other teams other than Utah, But Phoenix, what they're gonna, this is how they do it. They already say inexperienced in the playoffs. They're already putting that word out there. You know, they ain't really have any experienced players in the playoffs. So when you hear that kind of idea, you know that you see the type of scripting. And that's why I was saying, you know, you get that position. You got to understand that. You beat them and then you move from that position. And of course, it's the best record who's home when it all settles. But you come from like the top seed angle. So the teams that top seed was going to play is a little easier, you know, the higher they're ranked. So, but I could see them doing Phoenix like that, no matter how they end the season. And that's what they'll say. They just don't have the playoff experience. Unexperienced playoffs. That's how they try to play it. So we'll see. Another dark winter, we go back wearing the mask. Yeah, it looks like the mask are done. Really, nobody really. Curry, I would say Curry. Better handles than Curry. I mean, supreme handles. That's one thing you got to understand about Pistol Pete. Supreme handle, but yeah, Curry game like, but Curry game like as a killer scorer, but point guard like really going to get 8, 9, 10 assists. So somewhat Westbrook, but a way better shooter. That's why Westbrook would be a poor comparison. It would be closer to what Curry is. Range from whatever, could make it from whatever. Make it every. I mean, Jabbar is the greatest winner in college, and I would say arguably the best player ever to play college high school. But far scorer in college, Pistol Pete was the truth. 44 points a game. I don't care who you playing. These are college people of your age. And he scored 70. I think he scored 70 in the NBA, high 60s. So look that up. I think he scored 70 something or maybe high 60s. So he could do it. So I would say mostly Curry, but better handles, bigger guy. I think he was 6'5". So a bigger guy with better handles, but a pure killer scorer from everywhere. Watch one of his games. Really, he should have taken it easy, taken the summer off, and played the next season. He would have played Bird in the championship and got him a championship. Instead, they brought Archibald in. You know, Pete retired. And, you know, Pete was like, you know, y'all didn't never know this. Pete was born like my aunt was born. My aunt was born like this, where everybody else's heart is right here on your left, or more like here, which that's the Mandela effect. Hearts used to be up here, but now your heart is down here. But anyway, my aunt was born with her heart over here. And what Pete was like, even though his heart was here, all his valves was turned around his heart. So, you know, like the valves that naturally run here, your different valves. Yeah, his was like curved around his heart. That's why he ended up, but all the games he played, that's how he ended up dying. He was just shooting baskets. But when they looked at his heart, it was just, they had never noticed that before. It's like the heart of the horse Secretariat. There's been no horse matching that. Even his children, you know, the ones he sired, none of them got that, what he had. This was probably the most magnificent horse ever made on the earth, was probably Secretariat, as far as the physiology of the horse. How everything worked just like nothing else had ever worked. Such a magnificent animal. Yeah, he went to LSU. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Players in the past that would dominate now, Wilt would still dominate. Because Wilt would run in the game now, and then Wilt shooting threes. Wilt would dominate. Wilt was such a good athlete. That's what people don't understand. You bring in the 22, 23-year-old Wilt, you think Shaq was good at 22, 23. There was nothing a modern NBA would have changed what Wilt did. I mean, watch how he ran. This dude ran high jumped. I think he ran the 200 or the 400. This dude would run all day. Imagine Dennis Rodman, 7 foot, but really could score to the basket. No, he couldn't really dish like Zion, far as the handles, but far as running with people that got him, there was no one better. And once he got the ball, there was nothing anybody else could do. First time he faced Russell, he scored like 50 on him. He destroyed Russell. So Wilt would dominate today too. Wilt would be closer to big like Durant, but more muscular defense. And they got pictures of Wilt being at the top of the square, like damn near the top of the backboard blocking somebody's shot. So Wilt definitely, Tiny Archibald would be in today's game. Louis Dampier, the best ABA shooter of all time, would definitely fit in today's game. He was a point guard that could dish too. Of course, Dr. J. People forget Dr. J was a star. Connie Hawkins too. His game would fit modern times. Big dude that can handle and go to the basket and punch on you. Saw Dr. J, and Dr. J was littler than Connie Hawkins. So, lately they've been showing the Jordan comparisons with Kobe. But, Jordan knew of these other guys too. Especially he played against Dr. J's last year. And Dr. J was a little taller than Jordan. There's a picture of them standing, not the one on them on their knees, but it's another picture in that same game where they standing up next to each other. Dr. J a little taller and definitely got bigger hands. Dr. J hands is like I saw Spencer Haywood one time. He had them big ass hands too. But Dr. J had them hands like this. So them kind of players, they would still be able to work. Shaq is MK. Yeah, Shaq has been like that. CJ said, interesting. LSU's a hub for MK Ultra athletes. Yeah, but Antoine, that's why he died. His valves was all up one side. I saw a picture of it. Not a picture of the real heart, but when they published it and whatever they published, I read it. They showed a picture of it. It was interesting. But it just made me think of my aunt, because my aunt was born with her heart over here. Was like 1 in 300,000 people like that, where her organs were switched. So where that comes from, almost an impossibility. Shaq, Ben, I would say Ben too. Yeah, Ben Simmons too. That's why I say he was better than Jordan. Jordan was a better shooter. Dr. J was, I'll say like this. Look at it like this with Dr. J. Dr. J was Zion. How Zion game is, to just take everybody to the hoop, and you either dunk on them or you shoot a layup on them. And that was Dr. J, and prime Dr. J. Really wasn't emphasizing shooting the threes. Later in his career he did. By the time he retired, he was playing guard, because Dr. J, again, he's only 6'5", 6'6", about 6'6". So, the end of his career when he played against Jordan, he was playing more two. He wasn't guarding a whole bunch of threes by them. But today's game, Elgin Baylor's another one. And Elgin Baylor, again, big as Zion, maybe more 6'6", but go to the hoop and get you 20 rebounds a game. That's what people underestimate about Elgin Baylor. This dude's rebounding effort, Rodman-like. Clearly Rodman-like. He wanted the ball. And he on defense, he clearly showed that. Wasn't just playing D. And, this dude would go after every rebound. And very Rodman-like. Good technique, boxing out. But, for a dude who really was a small forward, he averaged, I think, like 17, 18 rebounds for his career. Look up Elgin Baylor's stats. Elgin Baylor, but rebounding is crazy. So that would transition. Shit, Roger Brown, the man with 1,000 moves, that played, that was blackballed like Connie Hawkins and played with the Indiana Pacers with George McGinnis. He could shoot threes, mid-range. Again, they called him the man with 1,000 moves. Excellent ball. He might, I would dare say, because he had a better handle than Connie Hawkins, clearly better handle. Even though it helped Connie, Connie's a little bigger dude, but it helped Connie playing with the Globetrotters. But Roger Brown, creating that shot, like with the moves, he was better. He was better than Connie Hawkins, where Connie Hawkins would gracefully just get by you, and if he's close enough, he'd just punch it. where Roger would just put the moves on you and had him handles. So those guys could play today too. They could play today. Let's see. Let's take that shadow away. Okay, a little bit. Yeah. Just the footage of Wilt running, he would have chased down the artist. What about Oscar? You got to meet Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson is a big guy. I mean, he really is a big guy, and he's a way better Barkley, and not the rebounder, more of the point guard. Again, he played more one, really, played more one, but kind of really two kind of role. But like they ran the pick and roll. You think Karl Malone and Stockton, but Wayne Embry and Oscar Robertson was probably one of the best in pick and roll. Again, he didn't when Oscar was getting triple doubles, they wasn't like they do now. He was going after it too. I mean, like if you watch how Oscar shoots, it's a statue of the dude who invented this kind of shooting. It's one dude just came down and he invented it. It's a cat out of Indiana, and he just came down and shot the J like that. But what they taught everybody is you do the U. And so you look at Oscar Robertson go up, and then he drops this, and it's just the U. George McGinnis had the big Dr. J hands, and George McGinnis would just like with one hand could just go up. You watch some tape on George McGinnis. He would be dribbling. If he was in the lane, he wouldn't even need the other hand to steady the ball. He would just grab it with one hand and go up. That's a hell of a skill. That's how I copied that because of McGinnis. Not. But yeah, Oscar Robertson could play today too. Big guy, could dish, shoot, match up with anybody, didn't matter the size, knew how to get separation. That's what basketball is. It's like just getting separation from somebody, getting your shot off. Nate Archibald with an 8 in today's game. Well, I mean, like watch. I'm gonna tell you, he does a move. Watch Nate Archibald's move. He does a move in the tape where he hits a dude full speed and run. The guy is like about at the elbow. He hits a half spin and back and gets by the guy like he never even stopped. But he does a clear spin here. So he's going full dribble, turns his back and spins, which we used to call purling, and he just did the dribble here, and then he turned back around the way he was going. Watch that film, and you see that he was the truth. I mean, getting by people, great mid-range game. Now, three-point game, no. He would have struggled today because he just didn't have a deep three-point game. Again, when they won a championship, I think the three-point line was in play. He was an older player. Older players started shooting threes. But as a younger guy, now he's mostly go to the hoop. So I don't know. I mean, again, that quickness, like John Wall. If y'all remember John Wall, how quick he just got by people, that was Archibald. I mean, just because he, like Kevin Loder played with him. You know, dude, I was saying that end up getting drugged out. But Kevin played with Loder too. But yeah, he could have played far as he would have had to, improve his jump shot. And the one that broke my heart clearly was Len Bias. I mean, Len Bias would have played in any space time. I mean, just his skill set. His skill set was. I don't know that Jordan could have became Jordan. Like the competition with Magic and Bird winning the MVP every year. It would have been that kind of thing. And I don't know. Len Bias would have started on a winning team. His possibility of playing the championship would have been quicker because he played on a good team already. So, I mean, that sacrifice was very well thought out, but Jordan's career might have not been Jordan's career because remember, Jordan got kind of put to the side by Bo Jackson or people that remember. I mean, people that remember the commercials, Bo knows. Bo was rivaling. Bo was getting just as much commercial time, if not more, than Michael Jordan. I'll say this. They paid more money on Bo's commercials. You look up Bo's commercials. You can look up Jordan's. There was more money spent on Bo's commercials. Bo knows. Bo had a shoe. You can still, I think they re-released some of Bo's shoes. Are you saying Mike's hands bigger than Kawhi's? Yeah, could be. Fundamental game. Oh, absolutely. Oscar played with Wilt. No, he played with Kareem, but he played at the same time. Yeah. They were probably 2 years apart. Because Wilt only played two. Like when Wilt went to college in the 50s, he only got to play 2 years, and then he lost the triple overtime game to North Carolina in 56. And then Wilt went right to the Globetrotters. The Globetrotters gave him, you should look up Wilt's book. It's a trip. But he went right to the Globetrotters. Again, they wasn't going to let him go pro until his class graduated. It wasn't even no rules back then like that. But that's kind of what they did. And then they had the territorial rights. That's why I know what they did to Roger Brown and Connie Hawkins and Doug Moe. That's why they did that, because they would have all went to the Knicks. And with them 3 players and then getting Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, I mean, that team would have been hard to deal with. That is why they did that. They didn't want that. They didn't want the Dr. J game to come into the 60s. But so, he played at the same time as Wilt, but he ended up playing with Jabbar at the end of his career. I mean, really, they should have. They gave it to Boston in '76 when really watch Kareem. People forget about the sky hook. Kareem could do either hand. Wasn't like it's just one way. Kareem would hit you, and he could go left. He could go. That was my right. He could go left. Easy. Hit him with that. You didn't know which way he was going. And people don't practice the most dynamic, effective shot ever existed. Again, from a 7-footer. It's different throwing hooks. But if you look at the basketball in the 40s, well, when pro basketball first came, you'll see games where everybody just threw hooks. And that's not capping at all. Watch a basketball game from the 40s. Most people throw hooks. If they don't go to the basket, their long shots was hooks. So one period, that was the go-to shot. And then the guy first came with the jump shot. High school guy. That's how it really spread. And then I think he did go to college. But it's a statue of him that invented the jump shot. Because even when you watch the brothers play back then, it was set shots. Dudes did take set shots. That's what Zion. Remember Zion was shooting a set shot? You can just stand there and you don't jump. And like they did it very, very stiff like. It was like I would love to play back then with a guy that just takes his time and he kind of a 2-hand push was a set shot. A pick-up 2-hand push. I would have blocked shots all day. And you could goaltend. Remember, you could goaltend up, I think, until 55. You could goaltend. Shit, when John Wooden played in the 20s, if you scored, they would take the ball out the basket and they would have a jump ball. So if you could jump ball all day and hit it to your teammate and he could score, you would stop him from going to the other end. You could control the game the whole game. If you could win every jump ball and score, you would play like that. So, yeah, definitely. Boston would have won his rookie year, hands down. And then they got Reggie Lewis. Remember that? Then Reggie Lewis came. So I would just say, Len Bias signed with Reebok. Don't know how far, but the pump would have went to Len Bias. No, the pump was already with Dominique, but he would have had his own shoe. So Reebok would have really stayed in the game then too. So you got to look at that, all the gear, because Jordan was really kind of brilliant. Remember the plastic, and not plastic, but the nylon stuff of the 80s, mid 80s, the nylon kind of sweatsuits. Reebok stuff was a little nicer as far as that design. I always thought the Nike stuff, because I remember I had a pullover that I never saw anybody else wear. I don't remember where I got it, but it was a pullover Nike, that nylon stuff. It was like a tan, and the pants had the tan in it too. And I don't remember where I got it from, but I remember I never saw anybody else wearing that kind. But Reebok had a little better style. Because think about it like this. Reebok could have put just as much money in Len Bias as they put in Iverson. They would have been able to put just as much into Len Bias. Because remember, they put it into Shaq first. And then Iverson. Well, kind of Shaq, Iverson, but Iverson showed shoe by far slayed. Yeah, very talented. Yep. Zion gets a jumper. Yeah, Greg Deep. He needs to get a jumper. He'll be unstoppable. Well, again, Adrian Dantley type of game, just being able to take anybody to the basket. I mean, there's other players like that, Truck Robinson, but Adrian Dantley was probably the best of just, it didn't matter who guarded him. Now this is what Bernard King is somebody that Zion should study, because if he can get that mid-range game, like watch when Bernard King scored 50 on nothing but a mid-range game. I mean, of course, some layups and stuff, but he would score 50 on just mid-range killing you. That's Randall's game. Randall's game is just like that. It's almost the same if you really look at it. I didn't think about this. I'm thinking about this on the fly. If you look at Randall's game, it's that Bernard King game. Maybe I don't see the killer that Bernard King had. Bernard King was just there to kill you. Adrian Dantley, same way. But he was a dude that had that 6'5" side, could separate 6'6" probably. I don't know. Bernard King might have been even 6'8". You would have to look it up. Maybe 6'7". But just can separate. Basketball is about separation. No matter. You separate. Like I used to have everybody. I played with these guys, and I no way stayed in shape the way these dudes did. I was playing with them when they was in their 50s. I was still in my late 30s, early 40s, but just being able to separate, that was fun with them. And I used to always say, got them. So I had all of them saying that. But it's like once you separate, you separate from a guy. And when you learn to shoot high, that's the key, as the better competition. You play against better competition. There's parts on the basket. Most dudes, can't block because you can shoot it so high. You can damn near shoot on the top and it'll bounce right in. King, yeah, Greg. King he was better than Albert. Albert probably had a better skill set, but he didn't have that heart killer that just Albert should have played pro. Adrian Dantley, Kelly Tripucka, Nick Taylor, Kelly's dad played, let me get this right. I want to say he played with Denver Broncos. Yeah, Kelly Tripucka's dad played with the Denver Broncos. So he came from a pro family. Yeah, Kelly went to Notre Dame. I want to say Kelly played with Lambeer. Yeah, Kelly played with Lambeer at Notre Dame. I think he's a New Jersey guy. I think Kelly's from New Jersey. That's why, the trade of Mark Aguirre and Dantley, they still gave Dantley a championship ring because he played most of the season. But Kelly had a nice game. Kelly played with Isaiah for a minute, too. I think Kelly was still there when he played with Isaiah. I really couldn't say that Mark Aguirre was a better player. Mark had a short window. And like when Mark went to the Pistons, that was his window. Mark was 6'8", a little taller, but not a good defender. I don't know. I would say they could have won it because remember the year before when they lost to the Lakers when Isaiah hurt his ankle, but Isaiah scored 30 something in a quarter. Remember Dantley got knocked out one of the games. And he missed a couple games because he got knocked out. So that year, the year they lost when Isaiah scored 30-something points in the quarter, they could have won it. And Adrian Dantley got knocked out. Julius Randle, better Lamar Odom. Not as big a guy, though. Not near as big a guy. Bully ball with the J. The blind duck guy. Julius Randle better. Odom was a better ball handler, better open court player. The Shane King, that sodomy charge, my dad used to tell me about it. I had never heard that about him. I had never heard that. Wow, PJ, they shamed him. Okay, I had never heard about that. Wow. Hey, Lorenzo, big three would have been Bias, D. Brown, Reggie Lewis. They would have been for the Bulls. Yeah. They would have. Well, he would have had McHale too. McHale still had some. It would have taken. See, with Len Bias and Reggie Lewis, once Bird fell off, McHale was, a little younger, a year or two younger than Bird. Again, Bird transferring hurt him. And so they would have had McHale would have been able to rest. He would have been able to rest and having them dogs. And they would have put a nice team around him. Definitely. Yep. Yeah, D. Brown had the pumps for the dunk contest. He was doing the pumps, but they came out before then. The pumps cost, I want to say the pumps was the first $200 shoe. Yeah, I think it was $200 to get the initial pumps when Jordan was only about 100, like 110, 120, like that. And the pumps was two something. I had one player, I remember he had a pair. And I just didn't care for those type of Reebok shoes because it was really flat. The pump only helped the tightness of the shoe. It didn't do nothing about, it was a flat shoe, very flat shoe. So I didn't really care for them shoes. But I remember one of my players, these people had money. And I told the story about what's his name that played for Milwaukee. Went to the university. His name will come to me in a minute, but he was wearing a pair at the church, and I noticed, I was like, there was the Dominiques. He had a pair of the Dominiques, and I remember I stopped him, and I'd met him years before, and he was like, they gave him 50 pair of shoes. I'm like, 50 pair of shoes? You had 80 games, so you had to rewear some shoes. But Jordan was one of the first. That's how they was doing them. Jordan was one of the first that demanded new shoes every game. And that wasn't until 86. New shoes every. Matter of fact, it might have not been until 87. But this cat was trying to think my age. McHale's maybe 3 years ahead of me. So this cat was Randy Brewer. Big Randy 7'4". Yeah, Randy. I only think Randy 3 years older than me. So, yeah, he had them shoes too, them Dominique, 50 pair. But yeah, Jordan was the first to get new shoes every game. It kind of like, I remember when they first brought that concept out, that he was the first player to do that. And and I remember the commentator said something that everybody can probably relate to, is when you were a little boy, and remember, didn't it seem like you could jump higher when you got brand new shoes? And when we were little, it didn't even matter. Again, my first Red Ball Jets, Beta Bullets, these shoe companies that used to be around. But just remember that feeling as being a little boy. And those of you that were lucky enough to get the Jordans, I mean, that feeling of new shoes. Remember the Boondocks? New shoes. Remember the Boondocks? But that's the thing. The shoe has a lot more life. And then we saw more and more players, and that's the norm now. That's pretty much the norm. That was pretty sloppy. I believe it was before he went to the Bullets. Damn. Hold on, Jordan. Yeah, Jordans, when Jordans came out, they was like in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, about 120, 130. They wasn't that crazy 160. Nah, they was like no more than 130. And then like when the serious shoes, like them Concords came out, like the 10, 11, 12s, 13s, the real best basketball shoes, when them came out, the 10, 11, 12s, and 13s, when the shoes was serious shoes, yeah, them shoes wasn't more than 100. I don't think them shoes was 150. I don't think so. I wish I had the little card. But when the shoes got serious and was good shoes to hoop in, Reeboks cost more than Jordans. Oh, yeah. That pump Reebok was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Supposed to throw the game. Well, he killed him in that quarter. He put that work on their ass in that quarter on a hurt ankle, which probably shouldn't even played. But yeah, they lost. They lost that game. Have you peeped up media hyping up Golden State before the playoffs? Well, they've been doing that all year. Antoine says you guys got new shoes. Okay. Greatest shoe I ever played in was the Penny Flight Ones. Okay. I didn't really like the way they fit. I never liked them. But okay. Beta Bullets. Oh, Nick, you don't know nothing about no Beta Bullets. That's what Bill Russell wore. Look at Bill Russell's shoes. Bill Russell wore a black shoe. It's got a white toe, and it's got like a thick stripe and maybe a couple thin stripes, but it's got a thick stripe. But yeah, the old Beta Bullets and the Red Ball Jets. The Red Ball Jets. So why are they $270 now? You ain't getting the shoes they made back then. Even Wear Tester dude that ain't even, he didn't even know about them shoes. He was too little boy. Those shoes, the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14s was real hoop shoes. They was really like the top hoop shoe you could get. Now they just walking around shoes. They ain't serious hoop shoes. Now, if you playing somewhere, then they give you the serious hoop shoes. Now they're not made as well. The materials ain't as, and that's one thing Wear Tester points out. The material of the old shoes ain't used anymore. They just use the dyes, but they don't use all the materials. And so that's why those shoes were so much better. I learned all type of things about sports and athletics. I don't have much to add, though. I enjoyed games on TV with family and local sports, but I've never been to a pro game. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been to, hey, Jesse Lynn Wellness. Thank you. Yeah. You never been to a pro game. Wow. Because it's a different experience. It really is. Basketball, to be appreciated, you kind of got to be on the lower level. Football don't really matter. The stadium's so big. Even though you sit way up, you still can see everything. Basketball, you see it's an act more, but you see the skill more too. I'll say that. A live game shows you how well the guys can play. I mean, it really does. It's something to see them on TV, but to see them actually make these moves in person is still, old as I am, it's amazing. And even though the sport is scripted, I never say the skill's not there. Never. You never hear me saying or hating on the skill, because it's still, even though, like with the Globetrotters, you still got to have skills to do what they do. Oh, and what are they doing? Ron Anderson plays with the Globetrotters. He is something is coming up, and he is going to be on it. Gosh, what is this thing? I don't even think let me see if I made a copy of it. I don't think I did with Ron. I don't think I did. But just to show you, how energy works, I did kind of want to use him as that example of how energy works. And maybe I didn't copy his stuff. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Well, I'll get to my point. So like my point is like one of the things, and this can go over, I'll say this is not just regulated to ball. This can be regulated to a lot of ways in the family. But the high school I played at, I set a precedence in the way I played over the rim and being able to dunk. Now, this Anderson guy that plays with the Globetrotters, if you look at how energy is transferred, see the energy that I put there in that type of game stayed there. Playing above the rim, I was the first there. I was the first in the city to actually do a legal dunk. As far as not just the stuff standing there, I mean really jump and punch it. But my point is, playing in that same gym that I played in, my cousins played in, that energy stays there. That energy stays there, and that energy is transferred. And so not to say that the young man didn't have skill, but even dudes that watched me and tried to base the things on the way I played. And so this gets passed down. Like I told the thing, I remember after not playing college football, when I went out to all these different camps, and I remember telling jokes. And I remember hearing the newer guys that I didn't even know telling my jokes. I ain't even been around them, but they've been around my friends that I played with. These dudes just telling my jokes, and they ain't even been around me. So do you see how that energy is transferred? Now, there's a lot of different family ways. It's a way that dudes, like my family dudes being cool. You can see almost all my family, especially my cousins, but just even the way my children carry themselves, there's a coolness to them. And I know that ain't the thing to say anymore, but it's from my perspective. It's a way of being balanced. It's just a natural thing that came with our men. We're very tolerant men, but we don't take bullshit. Very observant. And these things pass through the families. It's like my son and I had a long discussion today. And I taught him, like when I say jokes, you can't be a comedian or talk shit to somebody if you can just tell one joke and be done. You got to tell a joke about somebody and have 3 or 4 back in your mind where they're coming next. I mean, it takes that kind of wit. And he has that. But that is how energy is passed, is my point. Type today. I'd love to see basketball and baseball overstand. Man, I wish I could bring you here and take you to a Twins game. Wednesday's the best day. It's what is it? $5 beers, maybe even $3 beers and dollar hot dogs. And it's the beef hot dogs. It ain't the bullshit hot dogs. I mean, they give you the big beefy hot dogs. And baseball is so slow that it's so chilled. I mean, it's really so chilled that you can just go get your food, even if you got to stand in line, go to the bathroom, then go get your food, beer, and then go back, and you ain't missed nothing. They just coming back on the field. I mean, it's kind of cool like that. Football, you kind of miss it, and even hooping, you really miss it. You got to halftime it or the period's changing. But baseball is, and when it's hot, the beautiful day, and the park is just nothing, just blue sky. You in the middle of downtown. You see these big buildings. I mean, it's just a beautiful. I enjoy pro baseball. I never knew Garnett was such a monster. His MVP averaged 2 blocks, 5 steals as a big man. Cool, never get old. CJ, I watched Garnett. I was I told a story before, Garnett's sister, I used to work with the dude who got Garnett's sister pregnant, and he had bought her a townhouse, and he tried to take it back, and she sued him and got to keep her townhouse. But when they brought him in, J.R. Ryder was still here, and he had Ryder rolling with him, and they played some good ball. They really did. I mean, J.R., he gave him some love. He was like, Jordan, he's like, I play with this cat every night. This cat is bringing it. And J.R., again, we looked him up. They said 6'5", but I'm thinking more like 6'3"-ish. I would say if he's 6'4" at the most, but definitely not 6'5". But the ability, again, the can run all day, hops, not a great defender, but had the ability, but not a great defender. Not a great passer, but could go to the basket. He complemented Garnett's game, where Garnett didn't have to have all the pressure on him. Was West here? What was Sam? Maybe Sam was even here. But I was here when we went down to when they had his interview. We went down to see him. And I was surprised how young he looked. I mean, tall as shit, but really thin, but really young looking. But that rookie year helped him playing with Ryder. They really did. They really did. And I want to say I'm pretty sure Sam was on that team too. Maybe West was on that team. But yeah, Garnett brought it every night. Every night was going to get you 10 to 20 rebounds. It was going to score 20. Was going to defend, blocks. Yeah, I mean, I love this game. When they had Spreewell in them here, they had a decent team. But they just really wouldn't pay the money to bring, the top players they needed. They would bring like second-rate players, And he needed a couple of top players. Did you see the no-look pass that Karl-Anthony Towns threw last night? SportsCenter had it on their top 10. Yeah, I think I did catch that. Where he cuffed the ball and threw it to the guy cutting across for 2. Yeah, I saw that. That was a bad pass. Yeah, Lorenzo, I did catch that. I watched most of that game too. That's why I always say your life goes away, energy transfers. Yeah, exactly. Energy. It's not that energy doesn't die, because energy can be killed or eaten. So, it's not that energy can be depleted. That's the thing. I mean, when you go into the white light, what do you think happens to your energy? You're giving your energy to that thing. So your energy, who you are, your energy essence. No, I got another word for it. Your energy signature gets erased. Now, again, if you have to do it again, which is insanity, make you do it again, learn everything all over again, and not knowledgeable of that. So it can be, your energy can be snuffed. Realize that. Hey, Derek, have you read the book Blackfoot Science? No. I'll write that down. I have not. Whoa. I will check it out. Thank you so much. I've got like 5 books. I picked my daughter up because it was raining because it's nice. They can ride their bikes home if it's nice. But and I was just sitting there reading, got some reading in. Was Spreewell the team he won MVP? Yeah, I think he was on one or two of them teams after he choked PJ, and they brought him back. I love I love the night baseball games. Oh my goodness, Jesse Lynn. Yes, the late night games are wonderful because it be so warm. And again, it's just a beautiful night. You got shorts on, and I mean, baseball is such a temple that it's just you can really relax. And I mean, if the games, would the games be packed, again, when you bring your food, you going by a lot of people. So it's kind of like, you got to kind of pay attention because you want your beer and you want your nachos or whatever. Here they do it in the helmet, the plastic batter's helmet. They give you just this big pile of food in this batter's helmet. So you got that in one hand and you got a beer, the beer is a jumbo beer and you're trying to walk between people. But no, it's fun. It really is. Yeah, late night baseball. The moon down here always comes again from our west, and our west is the stadium is a clear shot when the moon comes in. Downtown Minneapolis, when the moon comes in from the west, it's like it looks like it's right over downtown. My mother's viewpoint or her where she stays is a great example of that. But no, I haven't. So I'll look that up. Thank you. Wally, I thought about you when I saw it. Okay. That is smooth. I was 13 when my dad took me to my brother Atlanta Braves baseball game. It was against the Montreal Expos. Braves won the year to Fulton County Stadium. Yeah, I never went there, but I drove by it a few times because my friend used to work there, one of my teammates. Yeah, where Hank Aaron played. Yep. Because Macon ain't too far from there. I used to have a hat, Macon Braves. I think that's what they was called. But my hat said Macon across it. Yeah, Russell for MVP. I don't know. Black Root Science. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I wrote down. Oh, okay. Black Root. Thank you. My dyslexia kicked in. Black Root. Thank you. I need reminders. I appreciate that. Thank you. Baseball games are dope. Yeah, I like live baseball. We got the Saints here, and the Saints are the maybe more of the international league. I don't know what they call that. It's not like AA, AAA. I mean, it's minor league, but I forget which. I think because Strawberry tried out here, so I think it's equal to maybe AAA. Yeah, probably equal to AAA. But is it though? You talking about going to St. Paul and see the Saints? I think Bill Murray still owns them, and it is really cool. Good food, probably better food than the Target Center, but just the chilled atmosphere. And it's a much smaller venue, but it's cool. That's the last time I saw Pat Mahomes Sr. I think that was 80. I moved here in 86. I think Pat must have pitched here in 87 or 88. I think Pat was a team that played against the Saints, and that was the last time I got to talk to him because I went to the game and checked him out. Just because Roker broke a triple-double record doesn't mean he should get it. They're going to give it to the Joker. I mean, that's it, They can't give it to Dolce because he just ain't got it, and not yet. You still got the light on in the room when it's the late at night there in Minnesota. You still got the light on in the room when it's that late at night. Yeah, we run this shit. I've got a big bodyguard. He's laying sleeping. I just wake him up and say, they're fucking with me. Come help me. He would come immediately. So I don't worry about it. I'd be playing music if I wasn't on here. I'd be playing music loud. It's Friday night, It's Friday night. Damn, I've been going that long. And my daughter just left. She just left right before I came on. So she went home. So it's Friday, everybody gets to do their thing tonight. I know my neighbor, she's 30 some weeks. And I saw her earlier and she was like, oh, I think I got to go to the hospital. These pains is killing me. So she probably was having some Braxton Hicks because she's not due until July. So she's probably due in about 5 more weeks, 6 more weeks. But she was like, oh, this pain. And I know that feeling. You still, yeah, oh yeah, but yeah, lights is on. I'm pretty much feeling it. Joker got the biggest Kobe connection ever. Drafted 41st overall, gonna win the MVP with only 24 losses of the year, and gonna play the Lakers in round one. The Lakers beat them last year. Did they clinch today though? Because there's 2 more games left. Who lost? Who did the Houston beat? Let me see. Because Houston beat somebody tonight. NBA game scores Friday night. Yeah, the Wizards clinched. Nuggets won. Let's see. Everything. Jazz won. So if the Jazz won, the Jazz and the Nuggets was up. The Nuggets was up. But who? The Rockets beat the Clippers. That hurt the Clippers. That's right. Standings. Here we go. Standings. So who moved in the East? I'm still thinking 76ers for the East. I'm not changing my pick from that. I just think that Wilt connection is going to come through one of the ways of one of the teams. I think both. It's either I'm really looking at the Warriors or the Lakers for the Wilt connection. See, the Wizards are going to be in the play-in. Oh, here we go. The Jazz is still up. Yeah, the Nuggets in 3rd spot. So, yeah, the Jazz would have to play the Lakers. Yep. Or no, you're right. The Clippers. Or no, the Nuggets would have to play the Lakers as it is right now. The Suns are half game back. Now, Sun lost 2. So they're about a game and a half back. Yeah, they're a game and a half back with only 2 games left. Lakers look good because the Lakers play the Pelicans. The Pelicans lost tonight. And the Spurs is already in. The Spurs made the play-in. Timberwolves is check this out with the Wiggins trade. The Timberwolves, if they stay in this position, it fucks the Warriors up on the pick because the Timberwolves probably not going to get a number 1, number 2 pick. So it helped them, getting Russell and getting rid of Wiggins. Yeah, Brown is out for the year. Speaking of Luka, I don't know he has so many technical fouls. Well, you see Howard, they put what's his name, Haslam in just to get thrown out the game. Didn't that seem scripted? Did y'all see that where Haslam went in and got in it with Howard? Haslam is like a bench coach, really is. They just keep him around because he helps teach. He helps coach. He's going to be in one of them suits next year. I mean, dressed. But they put him in the first time all year, and he gets kicked out the game. Now, that ain't some wrestling-looking shit. Did y'all see that? He gets in it with Howard. Howard gets the technical where he gets, I think, fined $100,000 and misses a game, suspended a game. And we going into the playoffs. Jaylen Brown. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's going to hurt them. Well, no. I mean, he is spoiled, but he sees the favor. I mean, you see the favor they give Luka. They took some of that favor away this year. And Porzingis, you can't depend on him. He got that body he ain't got the body. And it don't, like where Ingram looks like that small frame, he worked on his body. It don't look like Porzingis works on his body at all. And he injury prone. So, Luka, in last year's WFCs, yep. Haslam going to be assistant coach for them. Yeah, definitely Haslam is going to be assistant coach. It did seem scripted. Yeah, Valley, very scripted. Very scripted. That's old B from his Orlando days. Okay, Greg, thanks. Udonis, 3-game tech. 3-minute game tech, exactly. Probably one of the quickest techs ever. But it seemed like, okay, hockey. Hockey, they put in the goons, and the goons fight, right? And that's how hockey works. The goon is on one of the lower lines. He's on one of the lower lines, and the goons come in, they fight each other. That's kind of how hockey goes. They need that whatever break or whatever the fight gets. Now, there's everybody will fight, surely, but usually the goons fight. Greenway here, one of the brothers, he's always fighting mugs, punching the shit out of them. I think I would have liked that part where I could punch people, but it's the same thing. You ain't really punching them. Mush. Yeah, exactly. Porzingis' body's soft like ice cream. I agree. He is. He just doesn't. But you've got to, it looked like, and I'll say that, the difference between Ingram. Ingram looked like, even though he's on that small frame, his frame was harder than the year before. Porzingis, again, got all that money just to spoil, but can't take the beating. A lot of them dudes be over 7'3", 7'4", and that kind of body. They seem, and it's like somebody commented about the amount of games you play in Europe. He was saying that they do play 80 games, which I can understand. And he was saying they're hardly off their feet, and that's the problem. If you play 70 games plus, you're on your feet a lot, and practice, you're on your feet a lot. And the European game is not quite as physical, not overall, not in talent level. See, the talent level is greater. And now, people don't even go to Europe. Before this COVID stuff, the top stuff was in Europe. Now it's in China. They take everybody there. They make that the top league. They develop that league. And instead of guys going to Europe, they'll go play over there. Or now the developmental league is paying decent. So it's really, even though it's scripted, they have made more work for young brothers. And it instead of brothers like Denny Cook, the dude that was better than LeBron that they blackballed, that was around that age, maybe a year older. Now you don't have that anymore. He went to Panama at 19, didn't pay a whole bunch of dough. I think he said he made $200,000-300,000. So, that's what's better about today, for sure, is we have that. More jobs. That's the thing I scream about for football. Football should have these other leagues, like even the league, the indoor league, indoor football, gave more jobs to these people. Because it's hard transitioning. It really is. It's hard transitioning. Like with me, 1 minute I'm in a big stadium full of people. The next minute I'm in shit up to my knees. Matter a couple months. Ain't nobody cheering for me to fix that shit, fix that line. Yeah, Randall's looking good, Valerie. But yeah, Lorenzo. But this is the thing to remember about the Knicks. The Knicks is the most successful. Before COVID, Knicks was one of the most successful franchises. They sold out every game. Merchandise, everybody want to wear that Knicks shit. So they didn't really need to win. It's the same way with Detroit. The Lions sell out every game. Plenty of merch being sold, Lion shit. They don't care if they win. Lions will never win the Super Bowl. It's 4 or 5 teams, they'll never let them win the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's the agreement, but they're not going to let them win. Lions ain't won anything since the 50s, the 1950s, and we're in the 2020s. We're almost 100 years for the Lions since the Lions won some shit. Maybe by then they'll let them win. And remember, the Fords still own the Lions. Yeah, y'all remember that, don't you? Clay Ford. He's dead, but his family still owns the Fords own the Lions. Fords don't own Ford Motor Company, not fully, but they own the Lions. And something they just tried to give a dimwit to get out the car business. They gave the dimwit some money. And I think when he bought the Lions in 60, 61, it was a couple $100,000. Couple $100,000. Now it's $1 billion business. And the Fords is basically out of the car business, but they're still in the football business. So some shit to just get a motherfucker out the way to give him something to do, kind of like they did W. When they gave him the Texas Rangers, and he almost had the Texas Rangers bankrupt. So, hey, Jay, what's happening? Just like the Bears and Bulls here. Bombs over Gaza Strip, Panama, Syrians. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Versus the Zionists. That is like You know, the people come on, and then like somebody brilliantly put, I don't remember who it is, but they brilliantly show where Zion, you know, and that's what I was putting. I put the video up on Facebook of Biden saying he's a Zionist. He says you do not have to be Jewish faith to be a Zionist. And that's a hell of a statement. Because you look through history, that ain't what they're saying. He's saying that you can join the shit. And all these people ignored that. Well, that's then. He apologized. That's my thing on Uncle Imbecile. How many niggas did Uncle Imbecile put in prison compared to Biden and Harris? That had a direct effect. And keep in mind, Biden was putting niggas in prison in the early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s. And then Harris, 90s, 2000s? And in 4 years, how many did you can say that he put them in prison, that his policies put more niggas in prison? I want to see somebody answer that. That you can say that his policy put them in prison like Biden's shit did. Biden got his name on the crime bill just as much as Clinton's. Hey, Anise, thank you for joining me. It's Saturday morning now. It's Saturday morning now. Oh, that's very kind of you, Anise. Every year since 1989, team from California, Texas, Florida made the finals in the NBA. Not surprising. That's not surprising. But you got to throw Brady in there. You know, when that 9/11, they went crazy with that 9/11 with his ritual, where they kept him in the public. And they had a decent quarterback, but that seemed staged the way that quarterback took a hard hit. So, don't know, guys. Don't know. These presidents are puppets on the strings, not in control of their own actions. Not in most cases. And this guy, we got so many people playing him. If you just think that's one person all the time, no way. No way. There's no way that's the same person every time. I'm pretty sure one time it was Tom Hanks playing him, though. I don't know who's playing him now, but that's a different cat every time. His mask, I was showing where like one of the dudes wearing the mask, you could see almost like devil little veins on both sides, like devil horns. So whoever had that mask, they couldn't get a good fit there. But whoever that cat is. That's why I was hearing somebody, and I don't know if it was Zach Hubbard, who it was talking about Hal Burton. Yeah, it was Zach. And like, come on, you're a researcher. You do the numbers research, and you don't know that the Bushes bought Hal Burton in 1947? Cheney worked for them. Cheney was just a name they put out there. But they bought Hal Burton right after World War II. And I've told that story many times. They should have got arrested for treason. And instead, they got paid off millions. And they bought Hal Burton right after World War II. It was a bankrupt company. And remember, Hal Burton is now in Iraq. So, yeah, everybody, the name Cheney was out there. But it was the Bushes that really owned it and benefited tremendously. Just like all that money before 9/11, just trillions of dollars just gone. Nobody has anything to say about it. So that is how it goes. Well, guys, I'm going to take a break. I do have to pee. I've drank a tremendous amount of beer. So send some vibrations. Give me about 2 minutes. Oh. Thank you. Thank you for that brief I like this shit. Oh, oh, happy birthday, Lorenzo. It's Kevin Bacon playing Biden. That's funny, Ethan. That is really funny. That is funny. Your truly is having he's birthday weekend. Okay, happy birthday, Lorenzo. Chaney was a scapegoat. Yeah, Chaney was just a scapegoat. Chaney shot a motherfucker in the face with birdshot. You know, he didn't give a fuck. Fuck you. Boom. Pay attention. Vote for my shit. Because he could have killed that dude if he had some well, they was out to shoot birds though, so they just carrying birdshot. But he shot a fucker in the face with birdshot. Aubrey Greenwood thought it was Chaney's company. I learned a new thing. Yeah, look it up. 1947, a bankrupt company got bought by the Bushes. I believe that's 1947. Hey, Crazy Sarge, thank you. Yes, definitely, Jesse Lynn, giving Lorenzo that love. Yes, enjoy your day. That's what I hit people, the family, and Facebook. Enjoy your day, for sure. Very chill day today. Didn't do a whole lot. Took it easy. Chill with my mini me. Cooked some food. Gave her some fruit. Taking care of her. We got these things where they're already pretty much made. I got gyros to make tomorrow. My son made some tacos, and it was just bulging over with everything. So it's kind of a good little thing. I think we're gonna start doing it for like $9, and it's just everything. You just heat up the meat and you melt the stuff, and it's just easy thing. So and so yeah, that's what we kind of what we did this evening. What's another thing? That doesn't make sense. Oh, that's a joke I wrote. You know, with this Siri shit on this motherfucker, you know, it's funny how it does that. Camera comes on, but that Siri shit, I be telling Siri thank you and shit. Yeah, I'll be doing that. Be like, so and so, and it's like tell me and shit, and be like, oh, okay, thank you. I never thought about with the Google shit, telling Google thank you. You know, Google just show you the shit and never think that, but this motherfucker tell you some shit, so you want to think it. Thank you for doing that. Oh, yeah. I do want to touch on this a little bit. Oh, okay. What's changed? Okay, this is a replay, y'all. Definitely a replay. You guys caught it too. Definitely a fucking replay. Something changed. I'll catch it. Okay, I still, it's something changed. I felt it. I felt that slight little bit of shift these motherfuckers do. Yeah, so you guys witnessed it. You guys probably experienced it too. Mr. T Gaming did the Pfizer or different company. Mr. T Gaming, did you get the, oh, okay. Mr. T, I got my second and my stomach hurts just like the last time, but this time my nose is clogged up. Get some of that spray shit. That's some shit I do with my allergies. I'll be 38. Oh, okay. Look at me. You wouldn't think that youthful face. So that's the way to be. That is the way to be. Because I'll be 60 in about 30 some days. You say you think you got the Pfizer, okay. That's because your dad, okay. You know, you ain't gotta quantify why you got it. You got it, and that's cool. We ain't gonna shame you. Right up here, you ain't gotta wear masks anymore up here. Unless the stores make you, but that shit's done up here. It's like that's over. The masks are over up here. The stores make you wear them, but everywhere else, I went to the post office and I went to other stores and they wasn't making motherfuckers in there without that shit. And then I went to the post office, motherfuckers had it. I'm like, okay. Because yeah, I sent Crazy Sarge stuff off, and I went to the post office, and they was like, we wearing them in here still. I'm like, okay, government, but your boy said you. Well, the governor came back. Biden said you ain't got to wear them, and the governor said you ain't got to wear them. Ain't nobody's checking them stupid goddamn cards. It's too time consuming. They want these motherfuckers want this bread. Now, gas. I did want to talk about that. The highest I saw today was $3.89 here. I paid Speedway. They give you 3 cents off. So what? $3.76, $2.76. Excuse me, $2.89, not $3.89. $2.89 was the most expensive I saw here today. $2.89, but I paid and I was glad I got it where I live. I paid $2.76 today. So it's going up everywhere. And you can say it's because of the hack and they paid the money for it, but it just seemed like higher gas prices is definitely a kind of Republican thing. I mean, Obama was the worst. That shit with Obama, that gas was crazy. Fucking $4 gas, that shit is a bill. I mean, when you make gas $4 an hour, it's a bill. Right now, gas is a kind of an afterthought. I mean, last year, the shit was $0 a barrel. And now the barrels is probably 60. We paying barrels, well, I didn't check today. Oh, but you people that play this crypto money, you guys better be paying attention, because my shit got hit 40 back to 49. 12 hours lost 1,100. In the last 7 days, it lost eight racks, almost 9. So Ethereum is actually did well. It was down today almost $100, but actually it's performed well. You was up 482. So Dodge is 52 cents, pretty safe. Yeah, you look at their wallet is pretty safe, affordable. And gold closed. Let's see if this is all right. Newest shit. Gold closed at 1,800. 1845, up $17. Up $17. Silver was even up 35 cents. 27. Bullion is 26. I want to know. Let's see here. See what this is. Price. Oops. Here we go. Per gram. So Crazy Sarge, silver was 82 cents today. Took a hit. Gram cost you 82 cents. Remember you were saying it was 95, so I took a hit for 925 silver, which is still going to trade. I mean, if this shit gets all fucked up, silver, this kind of silver will still trade. That ain't going to go away. If you got to trade some goddamn jewelry for some fucking food or ammunition, it still will trade. And then you can learn to melt it down yourself. So pay attention to the stocks. You got a 401k, better pay attention to that shit. Move that money around. Vaccines would be like smoking and non-smoking. Yeah, I've said that. Actually, yeah, it really is. It is really, that's what it's going to be like, once they do start checking IDs. Can I see your card? I would beat your ass. Get the fuck out my face. $3 gas here in OKC. Yeah, already over 3. Notice the Democratic cities and states have the higher gas prices. That's a good point. Crypto went down within a day or two. Yeah, it was up to 52 and then dropped back down less than 49. Yep. You think winning the Super Bowl this year, Zach had the Cowboys, one of his choices. Zach has the Cowboys. I ain't really looked into it. So can't really say right now. Kind of want to see what's going to happen with Cam. They drafted that quarterback. Kind of want to see the move that's going to be made on him, where he going to end up. So, they're showing rookie camps today. They brought that rookie. They interviewed the rookie guy here. Looked very composed. He's from here. It's a perfect scenario. Number 19 from here is from here. The receiver, he ain't fast, but damn if he drops shit. So they open up camp here today. So I don't know. Browns, Bucks. CJ says the Browns, Bucks. I have to look at the scenario because they want to put the Raiders up in there. They definitely want to put the Raiders, I think. But when the camps settle and see where everybody gonna be at, because Rodgers is a wild card right now too. He claiming he gonna turn down $30 million. We'll see. That he'll hold out for $30 million. What y'all think? Y'all think he gonna turn down $30 million? Be like, I've got enough. I don't need to sling the ball until they put me where I want to be put. Till they put me in the right place. Thielen, thank you, Trey. Thielen, yeah. Thielen lived down here too. He lives down here in Prior Lake. I used to see him at the beer store. The beer store got all the autographed jerseys, but he's lived down here. I ran into him a couple times. Julius Fields went through a damn shame ritual in the draft. Yeah, most of them do. You remember what was his name? Harris was his name. One of the West Virginia dudes. They shamed him until the next day. Johnny Football. They shamed him. And that was all scripted. Talking about he called the team and begged the team, It was all scripted. I ain't like him because his family got money. Same with Tebow. This is what I don't understand about Tebow. 30, what is he, 33? Again, that age. The skill set, I thought when they offered to bring him into camps playing tight end or H-back years ago, I thought that was a perfect fit for him. Compared to being 24 and could block 33, if you ain't never blocked, that's not a skill you just learned. Now, again, if they're going to put him slot-like, what kind of speed does he have to separate? He's a great athlete. He can catch the ball. He ain't hurt. Big guy. Don't forget, Tebow's a fairly big guy. But can he block? Can he separate? And his contract is not guaranteed. So he ain't guaranteed a job. All these motherfuckers saying Kaepernick. In my last channel, I showed you his skills. He just did not have the skill set to get the ball out quick. He just didn't. I mean, it's no accident that RG3 and him both kind of faded at the same time. I mean, RG3 let him, get hurt. He took that, he listened to him instead of just sitting out, taking care of himself. And that could have been scripted as well. But you notice they ran the same type of offense. So when they tried to put him into the Kaepernick into the modern NFL game, he couldn't do it. That ain't hating on him. Now, I agree. It's other quarterbacks worse than him that's in the league. I agree. I'm not going to disagree on that. But I said all along that Kaepernick worked for Trump. That was Trump getting back at the NFL for buying his New Jersey Generals. And unfortunately, Kaepernick took that role. Look at the bread he made. Who don't play and he still guaranteed $20 million? Who? Name another player that didn't play but got $20 million. So Kaepernick wasn't real. He wasn't real. Bowing down. I mean, that's you bowing down to them. Why you think all these pros jumped on it? Who you think you bowing down to? And then you can at least see when you do the Nazi salute. Then what I forgot the brother's name. Darkman X, Nazi saluting. At least, you showing some type of power when you Nazi salute, but you bowing down. when they planned their way that they captured and took this land, lands, continent. That ain't cool. Got our children bowing down to these motherfuckers. Bowing down is bowing down. And before that, look at what Tebow did. Tebow made it a Jesus thing. Look at players after the games, the Christians after the games. They do the same thing. They get in a circle. And I've said this before. My coach always, before we played, he said that valley of death shit. Probably what they did when he played college ball. And that was some eerie shit to hear. Because it showed how serious it can be. How life-changing it can be. Just in that ritual. That spell. Can you imagine hearing that? You got all this tension going, all this expectation coming, and then they hit you with that. Spell. Put you under spell. They can check my records when they have an MD in all natural medicine. There you go. Just better just to retire like Jody Nelson did. If Rodgers doesn't like it, he can go to another team and retire. Yeah. Well, I mean, he can't go to another team. They got to trade him. Tebow should have took his opportunity. Yeah. Tebow definitely should have took his opportunity then. He was perfect for that. Aaron might be start capping saying I live off 30 million. Yeah. I mean, he don't need it. The guy probably made over 100 million and the commercials. And commercials been running what, 5 years? Look how Spree couldn't feed his family with $10 million. Oh, and Sprewell, they embarrassed him up here. They took his boat, took his house. What was his name? Keith McCants. Or no, not Keith. Yeah, or McCants that hooped, that won a championship with North Carolina. That McCants that went with one of them Kardashians, played in the 3-on-3 Ice Cube shit. His house, whoa, it was smoking. And he paid about $6 million. That house sold barely $2 million. He took a big hit. And that house had been empty for a minute. He had a hoop court in there and everything. I went and looked at that crib. I wish I would have had the money for that crib because that was a steal. Adrian Peterson house. Greg Jennings still live out there. But the house that Adrian Peterson had wasn't far. When I lived out there, I used to see him all the time. Greg lived around the corner from me. I didn't live in no $1 million house. My house was around $250. But across the street was the $1 million houses. But Adrian was driving one of them. Damn, what was it called? It's a company. Oh, shit. Because I had to ask one of my boys as an engineer. It was a BMW, like a 700 BMW. But it's a company. Oh, what is that called? It's a company that had a name on there, too. So under that 740, 750, it's their name. Or it might not even be. It might just be that company's name. I had to ask somebody. I had never saw a BMW like this. I can't think of the company's name, but it had a different name on back there. And my boy was like, "Oh, this is who does the BMWs." So, but I remember I would see Adrian all the time. We get gas at the same place. Did you see or have you touched on the basket manipulation late in the Golden State game? I watched it too. I really didn't see it. I was fucking around watching, reading and shit. 3 balls. Cranked like foot in the air and went in. Okay, Trey. I guess I didn't pay enough attention. The game really wasn't. It was boring. What's his name? Didn't play. Curry didn't play. So yeah, I didn't. I had it on. I didn't really watch it though. I had it on. So no, I missed that. I had to catch it. Rashad McCants, yeah, his crib. He took a big hit on his crib. It's like they used to do tours because you remember Herschel Walker, they were stupid. The Cowboys was stupid, or no, the Vikings was stupid to trade for Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker had 0 moves. He was straight ahead speed, and you get tackled a lot with just no moves at all. And the Vikings gave away, turned the Cowboys into Super Bowl champions because all them picks end up being what was Aikman, Irving, and Smith. So, yeah, the Cowboys saw them coming, but Herschel was nothing but a straightaway player. But They used to say the Herschel Walker house. He rented a house here. He didn't buy that motherfucker. He rented it here. And people would do tours to see where Herschel lived. So no, I have to check that out. I'll rewatch it. No, I guess I can't. No, that's the only Timberwolves game I can rewatch. After football games, they don't kneel and pray with each other. No, they do. Yeah, they do. Football you watch. The Christians and Catholics do. They sit down and get the pros. You'll see it if you keep watching after games. They'll do a circle. It's witchcraft, but they call it the guise of Christianity, and everybody put their hand on their shoulder, and somebody will take a prayer. Watch after games. Sometimes they show it, sometimes they don't, but most of them do it. If you watch them shake hands, they're making Superman black. Wow, not surprised though. And this poster of Superman versus Ali, they got Superman over Ali. So, oh yeah, the Cowboys came up off of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker wasn't that good. I mean, not to say that the talent in the USFL was terribly bad, but he was a speed dude. Like, I'll tell you, a run. You watch Herschel Walker, I think it was his freshman year, where some 2-3 people have the angle on him. He outruns them. But he didn't never fake nobody out. He would just run by people. But once, he couldn't fake them out. Because in the USFL, he had played on a decent team. And he really got the record for the most yards in the season. It's Herschel Walker. It's 2,200. It's more than Eric Dickerson's. And Adrian Peterson was second all time. But Herschel Walker got the record, if you look it up, for a season. But again, that was in the USFL. So it's an asterisk by it. Good, fast guy, but had none of this. None of that. He wasn't faking nobody out. His legs just stand right there. Cam was a Superman figure. So was Dwight Howard. Remember, he wore the cape, Superman that could dunk. Remember, Shaq branded himself. Shaq got the Superman brand. Oh, let me do the divinations. I was thinking about that shit. So, what is it, day 6? I think so. Pretty sure that's what I put in here. Day 7, excuse me. So we should be at, excuse me, 13 platoons, 0 contunes, 8 tunes, 9 uno, and 7 kin. And 7 kin is manic, which is very, very common. Matter of fact, let me see. I messed with this before. I did it. I did some tablecloth pulling shit. And this is Mayan hieroglyphs. Okay. Like here. And that means represents, just a hand, of course. But it's a very common in these hieroglyphs that you see the use of hands. Not seeing them. I have to do some work and have them picked out. And they destroyed most of this. The Mayan shit is so old though. A lot of it, but all the codexes that got passed down, they destroyed most of that. And then trying to say we savages. Okay, here this one means 0. Right there. That's 0. Very common hieroglyph in the hands. Some cool shit to absorb, though. Cool fractals to absorb. Okay, here's a couple more. This means bond, tied, wrapped in white headband. See, the hand is very common. Yeah, same bond. So here's another one. Represents outstretched human hand in Babel. Don't know what that means, but again, very common fractal. And so manic is hand, grasping, closure, knowledge of power of completion, realization of fitness of the physical being. And Saturday if you want to manifest, it would help you if you sat in the West and manifested while you faced the West. If you was to ask somebody to get married, as long as you on your knee to her to get to those heartstrings, face the West. Here we go. Interesting. It is also called Masato, or deer. In this card, we see a spiritual seeker looking for a sacred vision. The deer is the one who brings the vision. On the upper right corner, we see the symbol of Venus, the planet representing Quetzalcoatl. The seeker is seated on a sacred mountain. The double herds of the mountain represent Amanoto. The divine duality is on the top and the bottom of everything that exists. As we can see in the story of Thomas Cammalleri, the blue deer, Masato, represents the quest for spiritual vision. The deer will bring the vision as long as we undertake the steps and tasks that must be accomplished before the deer will reveal itself. Now, that is a thing that I don't know that I can emphasize enough in spirituality. It ain't abracadabra. No matter what path you take that's for you, you have to repeat it. You have to work on it. Meditating is a prime example. It ain't going to just come one day. You just sit and be still. You have to keep doing it. Repetition. That is one thing John Henry Clarke said is our people, is we have to have that repetition. True spirituality is something you practice. You know, you see the people that just go on Sunday and think, boom, abracadabra, I'm good because I went in here on Sunday. You're just getting fed on. That's just giving your energy up. So spirituality is a practice. You got to nurture it. The deer will bring the vision. Getting this card is a call to seek the vision that will show you what your task and path of heart will be from now on. Till the vision is fulfilled, the time from another vision will come to you. The quest for a vision is an old spiritual practice among peoples of Yoni traditions all over the world and throughout history. It is performed in many ways in accordance with the cultural background of the seeker. But the basic element is isolation and wilderness for more days, often including fasting, praying, singing, or dancing. The intent is to call on the Great Spirit and bring us the vision that directs our life from then on. Messel represents the initiation, awakening to a higher state of awareness. It is an omen and a call. It is up to you to find out how and when you respond to your spiritual call. Here we go. What is the vision behind the way I am constructing my present life? Where is the vision leading me? Do I have a vision for what I want to do with the rest of my life? Is there a time for me to look for a higher vision around which to organize? Do I ask for help when I need it? Do I need to learn and practice how to ask for help? Who would support me in my process of finding my vision? So, I'm going to grab this before it falls. But it's like, as I was saying with let me see what's everybody saying. I've been reading. Bo Jackson, Tecmo Bowl, Nintendo game. Shaq beef with Dwight because of the Superman gimmick, but Michael Jordan beef should be with both of them because he was dubbed at first. That's a good point, Lorenzo. Superman is a representation of Saturn, so it could have been a cult ritual that those players had to partake in. That's a good point. Very well informed point. Outstanding, CJ. This discipline is required. Indeed, it is. I mean, you have to take your time to pray. I pray every day. You know, I've changed, and I've changed the last 3-4 years. I've had to change the way I do things. But because I would, like I've said many times before, I pray in the shower, but I've even changed that. I do still pray in the bathroom, but I use the directional energies because my shower only faces a couple different ways. And I noticed I changed. Like I was facing one way, facing the water, and then I started having the water to my back. And that's like, well, let's do this out here, and I can truly benefit from the flowing energy instead of just placing myself when I meditate around, to get that energy. And because it's free energy. This is the thing that the calendar we subscribe to, calling our days. This is the energy. I mean, the date is the date that's been for 100,000 years. This ain't some just. Again, it does transform into this current time, but the time existed before. Again, a lot of people heard of 2012. We're into, or actually, it would have been 1200 Batuns. 1200 Batun. They was not worried. They was worried about that shit. We are in 13. If you see the difference. So. This is something that is truly in Americas. You can adapt it. Got to work with that spiritual muscle. Good point. I'm again, getting something that's deep inside of you. You can even feel it when it. Well, I mean, after a while, it's just out. But sunlight is a great thing. That's why sun gazing is so great in the mornings and at night, is because it can truly burn a lot of that out. And you can feel the light will go deep, and your pineal gland is deep in your brain. I mean, it's really deep back in here. And so just the whole trip to bring that energy in and let that energy hit back there is quite a effort. I mean, like the way we look and everything, we see this shit is upside down. You have to understand that. All this shit is really upside down. Study your eyes and the way it brings information. So you really can't believe your eyes, because your eyes will easily be fooled by illusion. I mean, I've said before, I can close my eyes. There are times where I close my eyes and this shit is very Matrix-like, but I can still see this shit. And I ain't seeing this shit. I mean, my eyes are closed. I'm blindfolded. And yet I'll sit here and I can still see this shit like I'm looking like right now. But that's kind of low energy. You want to be on this shit. But my point is, you could still manipulate this system with like Neo. You really wouldn't even have to look, because you still can see it without this way, is my point. Because a lot of times when you get visions, again, the visions will come. That's why plate work is so cool, is because it helps with the visions. Because a lot of times the visions that come with your eyes open. It's more than a daydream. It'll put you in the scene. It'll really put you where you looking at some shit. And it might be like that. But if you can capture that and move when that moves, like when that vision comes, if you can fully enhance yourself or fully engulf yourself into that vision, you'll see it clearly, like you standing there. And you'll be looking around. I mean, it appears like it happens like this, but once you are able to control that thing, you'll be like, well, shit. You really could look around and get more detail of the vision. And even though it happens like that, once you're able to like catch it like a fish, you like, oh shit, here I am with this. Like Crazy Sarge was saying, and that's why I teach standing up, going through the hallways. Because to me, it's a better movement. I mean, each person can have their own way of trying to get you to relax and meditate. But what I try to do is show you how to move through this shit. And I know the time manipulation is a little hard, but I put it out there so you can put it in your imagination. You can put it in your spiritualness, knowing that it's right there. That's why I bring that shit up. To me, like Crazy Sarge was saying, he said he could see the shit. He could see clear. He got in that quick amount of time just setting up. He was able to get in the hallway and see where it broke through. Where it broke through, and you see the other reality that's beyond this reality. And there's a lot of different ways. Yes, you can sit and kind of go through it. What is that? The Time Machine, where remember he had the pedal and shit, and it get, it's a commercial like that recently, and he can make that time machine move, but he's sitting down as he's going through the time. And granted, he was able to, and Lucy did the same thing, the sitting down kind of trying to move through. Did the same kind of thing, where you can sit down and navigate through space time. Again, the movie showed more of advanced movement. I just think being in the hallways and starting from there and seeing the streams of time, I just think that's a better way to prepare people. That's all. Dubbed himself after superheroes like Hulk, Wolverine. Oh, what I miss. Smash that. Thank you, Anise. Why do I still feel sun gazing with a false sun? Why does it still feel good? I mean, it still burns that shit out, even with the simulator. And I said last night, not today. Today was a fucked up day. Today it was very cloudy, very rainy, cold. We stayed in. Again, I picked the girls up today. They didn't ride their bikes. But yesterday, and again, I've been sun gazing for the past 2-3 weeks, and it's been the simulator. I can't really say that I saw the sun, but it appears just like the simulator. So, but it gives you warmth, and it will start burning and giving you all these beautiful colors too. So, basically different strokes for different folks when it comes to meditation. There you go. If I find a way to break through the barriers of up and down, left, right, forward, and backwards and all. Yeah, exactly. I watched Tenet movie about time, what I was expected. Tenet movie about time, but it was Tenet is the bomb. It wasn't what I expected. Yeah, Tenet is, you got to pay attention. It's a movie where you got to pay attention. It's really the first time seeing it is the greatest impression if you can catch that stuff, especially them first scenes and knowing that's him. And when he's fighting, you seeing the dude throwing all the counters. It's like, that's him fighting each. It had to be. The dude really wasn't trying to hurt him. He was kind of more occupying him. So yeah, Tenet is cool. And then catching the bullets, and when they fighting and catching the bullets, that's just kind of brilliant writing. To fight and catch the bullets, you got a machine gun and you're catching the bullets and you're shooting the machine gun like that. That's some shit. And you got a group of people that can do that too. That was some brilliant kind of writing. Very good screenplay in that adaptation of the weapons. Remember how they had to double blow the building down? Remember they blew it down and they brought it back up and they blew it down on another floor? That was brilliant because he had to catch it. You see, he had to catch it and then shoot back. Some suns are brighter, some suns are brighter, some are dimmer. Yeah, the simulators appear like that. You would be the keeper of all your own abilities. You should be able to learn new ones. That's it. You can be 1,000 years old and just sit here. And I've told the story, this is a motherfucker in a cave in India and been in the cave a couple 100 years, and they give the motherfucker some water and some fucking rice once or twice so many years. And he's still in there. But we know some of the monks can just, totally collapse all this. Like every little bit of their essence they can take out of this. And it's just a little glob about that big. They take all their essence out. So ain't no chemicals they can put. They take all that essence out. So when all the true essence come out, and that's a lot with the food, the chemicals, is to stop that kind of thing. That's why you got to be so diligent in your spiritual thing, because it's so much. I mean, the food don't matter, the water don't matter. It's all illusionary, basically. So it can all hurt you the same way. And then you can just say, fuck they shit. They shit can't hurt me. So all this shit is the same old bullshit. That's kind of how you got to look at it. It's like, even if you have to take the plunge, it's okay. Ain't nobody going to shame you. Just thinking it can't really, what's it going to do to you? That's how you got to kind of say, okay, it ain't the first time I took shots from these motherfuckers. So this is another thing. Move on. That's how everybody got to look at it. Can't say, because different circumstances. I know that was the buzzword of 20, circumstance. But it is. It really is. It's different circumstances for everybody. Different conditions. So you have to live your condition in this thing. to manipulate, to move through. Because it's like the thing is, there's people that at least, you took the plunge and you say, okay, at least I know a little bit about the other side. I see this. There's people that don't see it. They just believe these motherfuckers. That really believe it's for the safety. There ain't shit changed from yesterday to today. From the day that they said wear the mask, like my brother was the first one to say we should have worn the mask from day one. It was supposed to be at the worst of it when it first started. Why did they wait so long? Then the mandates. Again, Uncle Imbecile was saying, fuck that thing. He wasn't wearing that shit. But it just shows you, control the masses, see what the masses obey. So now we move on from that and fight this wickedness. And it's one brother that does a channel that shows all the, black and black crime across the East. Mostly I see him do, and that's a real thing. This crime is everywhere. And you got to realize where it comes from. And you just take the cue from the dope game that the police and the politicians played with it. Certain people are going to be allowed to do certain things. Like I've said here, they don't police over the Floyd area, which is South Minneapolis. They don't police over there anymore. So what happens? Survival of the fittest. But this is the evil part. They give that a push. They weaponize them. They make sure a certain faction is strong. They got a hand in that shit. Can y'all hear that shit? Did y'all hear that? The gunshots? Anybody hear that? Let me know. Everything happens in the spiritual realm before the physical. That's a good point, CJ. Very good point. The ball game is the same, just another court that manipulates everything now as we keep moving and playing. That's a perfect way to look at it. It really is. That's the energy of the Americas. That's the energy of the Americas. The ball court is every kind of way you move. Really is. And like what did Rosie Perez say? White man can't jump. When you win, sometime when you win, you lose. Joe Frazier beat Ali in the first fight, but he really lost because it cost him his career. He was never the same fighter after that beating he took. So even though he won, he technically lost because he didn't have anything left. He gave it all in that one event. Sometime when you win, you tie. Sometime when you lose, you win. Like I talked about that Gus Macker story. We won, we lost the championship game. We got second place. But we got the most team got along, like whatever they call it, teammanship, sportsmanship. So even though we lost, we got more trophies than the team that won. So even though we lost, we really won. So that's kind of how you got to deal with this. Protect yourself. That's another thing that's going to be more apt is protect yourself. I think, what is the new movie coming out? The all-time Purge all the time. They're trying to tell you. So protect yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. This goes for everybody. Get out your car and look at your fucking surroundings. Shit, man, if you got something that look nice, expensive, look at your surroundings. You see somebody fucking looking at you too much, you look back at them too much. When I really used to wear real jewelry, I would be looking at the motherfucker. What the fuck is you looking at? Don't check me out, motherfucker. I ain't no bitch. What you checking me out for? The fuck is wrong with you? That's how I would check motherfuckers. Back in my day when I'm wearing that real shit. And so, if you have stuff like that, beware nowadays. You see somebody looking at you too much, you look right back at them. What the fuck you looking at? because I ain't no Mark. I have a habit of doing that. Be aware of your surroundings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Forgot to have that lion fairy spirit to you. There you go, CJ. There's a reason we are taught to kill or be killed, unfortunately. There you go. Because it is getting, times are getting that tough where if you got anything that look nice to a motherfucker, and young motherfuckers think they ain't got to work. Again, we dealing with the who I smoked. And young motherfuckers think they got you or got numbers, but bullets got eyes. That's why I love the little pocket pistols. I mean, you can just, it's a hell of a thing when the motherfucker think they got you and you pull some shit out of them and they looking at that shit. That is a hell of an experience. Motherfucker think they got you and then you pull that shit out and then they see that smoke coming from that shit. The look in a person's eye, there's nothing else can give you that kind of rush for one, but it's that look of like, oh shit, I didn't think about this circumstance. I only thought I was going to win and get a lick. That is, you can see that in the face. It's like when you pulled the baseball bat on the bully. I would hit you with this fucking bat. I say you good if someone's staring at to look. There you go, PJ. That's right. You do. You good if someone keeps staring at you. There you go. Like, what the fuck is wrong? I'll be like, what the fuck? What? You want something? You know me? Now it's the women, but even women, because women could be, checking you out to tell another motherfucker. You see a woman look at you and then get on the phone, like, well, what the fuck is you looking at? You trying to describe my shit to somebody, bitch? I mean, I'm a rude motherfucker. I'm just a straight to the point rude motherfucker. These are good for fucking $10. Can chew on for damn near 2 weeks. That is not a bad thing. Can you guys hear this? Did y'all hear that? Anybody? Did you hear the gunshot? No, say yes. I hear it in my headphones. Can you guys hear that shit? Yes or no? Gunshots. Can you guys hear that shit? I don't think it's coming through. Because I know when I do my re-recording, I ain't hearing that shit. That's just how you got to deal with people nowadays. I mean, it's tight. What was the thing? It's tough everywhere. Things are tough everywhere. Where is this shit? Oh, here we go. Things are tough everywhere. That shit ain't coming. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know. I did something. Turn that shit off. That's all right. I'll figure it out. Just playing with this shit. It's fun to play with. I'll figure it out. There we go. All right. There we go. Little business I had to do. Okay, that's all right. This shit ain't, I don't know, got some kind of input problem, but that's all right. I'll figure it out. Ain't that big a deal. The microphone was better yesterday. So figuring this out. And yeah, I think when I go to this beachfront concert, I'm going to take this little unit and maybe broadcast live, maybe go back like a little further from the stage and just, be out there enjoying, tripping. And then I want to do a live from the mound. I've said that before. I want to do a live from the mound. So I want to do that as well. Well, it looks like I've been going on 2 hours. I think I'm going to give it up. My little one is going to be bothering me in the morning very earlier. And then I only got about 5 hours of sleep last night because this baby man I live with, that man child in there, plays video games all night. So it's like all my sons be staying up all night and they'll play video games. Well, 2 of them, and they'll stay up all night and play video games. So, yeah. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your host. Aidwind is timeless. I am also Starface. I am a time lord, time walker. Take all that. And thank you for checking me out, for people to check me out in the future. Thank you. I will be on here tomorrow night and going into Monday morning. So, and enjoy. It's going to be in the 70s here, so I'll probably be hanging out tomorrow. I didn't see Barbara tonight because I got to pick up some stuff for Barbara. Let me finish with this, though. Let me finish with this. I'll just go here. Well, let me see. Send this energy out. Start doing this every night, sending this card energy out, these crystal energy out. Getting to it. Gotta freaking be one of these. Here we go. It got me back. Nothing smooth in that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it out first. All right. Put everything back. Since this is the buzz crystal right now, I'll send this energy out and give a couple of different perspectives of it. And so I'm going to send this Moldavite energy out. Moldavite was created with a giant meteor slammed to the earth 11 million years ago, fusing the power of the cosmos with that of Mother Earth. That's not really true. They blew Moldavite up. Moldavite was on the planet in some kind of way. They blew this shit up. It had some kind of property, and this shit was blowed up on the planet. You are child of the stars and find the environment of Earth heavily and inert. It raises your vibration in flooding cosmic light so that you feel more at home. You are on search for an inner grail awareness of your divine origins. Release ingrained beliefs to make way for spiritual metamorphosis. Detach yourself from mundane issues. You are going through a spiritual transformation so dramatic, change occurs, you reach beyond your limits. Talk to your soul to check the outcome of the present actions. Transcend time. Avoid sowing seeds of destruction. Fertility and good fortune await. You are more than a physical body. Harmony at all levels create your well-being. Frequency earth and high. Timing is in Scorpio, South Path. Integration of the physical and spiritual being. And give some more possibilities. There we go. You see I'm doing this shit on the fly. Here we go. It's a tektite, glassy mixture of silicon dioxide, aluminum oxide, and metal oxides with a hardness of 5.5, so it's not very hard. Its crystal system is amorphous. The color of most specimens is deep forest green, so none of that other colors from China. Greenish brown at the most. A few rare gem grades are only a little darker than emerald green. Its formation coincides with the crash of a meteorite, again, in the Bohemian Plateau of the Czech Republic, 14 million years ago, almost 15. I'll read some of this. This shit's kind of long. I have worked in the field, similar effects of 1,000 others. And this is, again, Robert Simmons. He's the number one. He's written books. spoken, from my perspective, it has a special role to play in the awakening of humanity that is now underway. For this reason, we go into Moldavite's story somewhat more depth as we do others. Theories differ on its origins. Moldavite indeed fell from the sky because of the aerodynamic shape of certain pieces, and virtually all science associated with the meteoric collision that has formed the Bohemian Plateau. Whatever happened, it had tremendous power. The force of the impact explosion had been estimated at 6 trillion megatons. The shit that blew this up. So this was definitely some type of strong weapon, able to. They believe this shit might even went through the Earth's crust, penetrating into liquid iron in the planet's core. So Moldavite was more than likely shot into the core. It's said to have disturbed the currents of rotating liquid iron, which is a crystal in the middle of the Earth. Moldavite is regarded as the spiritual talisman. The Neolithic people of Eastern Europe wore Moldavite at least 25,000 years ago, and famed the Venus of Willenor, the earliest known goddess statue, as discovered digging site, which contained a number of Moldavite amulets. It has been viewed as a relic of the Holy Grail. When they talk about the Grail, could be talking about Moldavite. Modern times, it has emerged as one of the stones most prized for metaphysical purposes. Its effects vary widely from mild to almost overwhelming, from physical cleansing to spiritual breakthroughs. Yet the common denominator seems to be the realization and acceleration of one's path of its personal evolution. So, in closing, as I harmonize these two pieces together, I'd like to send this energy out to all who can absorb it. Let me see how I'm doing this. Where's my... Okay. This is straight up and down. So, okay, probably like this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is probably the best to shift this energy. Okay. So I send this to you. May the neurons connect and reconnect. May whatever transformation you feel, may it come to you. And may you land the softest that you possibly can land. May you feel this energy and it transforms you into the higher you. So as I push out these energies to each and every one of you, and who will futurely be watching this, I push this same energy out whenever you watch this. May this, you don't really need to buy it right now. Just feel this energy. And if you feel anything from this, then this could be a crystal for you. So may you rest with this energy. Oh my goodness. Wow, I could just feel this. This is quite a thing. Wow. This is pushing out a lot of energy. So whoever can absorb this. This is giving it up. This is interesting. Yeah, wow. So breathe that in. Well, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show, y'all. Till we meet again. Thank you.